Dear ones, I am the Archangel Michael. Today I will talk of letters of Sananda, or as many like letters of Christ. Many have not yet become accustomed to calling him Sananda because they do not understand why he has another name. But it is the planetary name. It is the name that the universe recognizes it. So this is how we beings of light call him. Jesus, the Christ, was the name assumed while he was in this incarnation, here on this planet. So I prefer to always call him Sananda. I have a lot of respect for this being of light that has done so much for the universe, not just for you. Do not think that he is exclusive to this planet, to have him as a planetarium. He is the Christ on many planets, on many stars. You are just one more. So he has an exceptional role within the universe, with his immense, immeasurable, and unconditional love. He manages to solve diplomatic problems throughout the universe. Yes, we also often need someone with a little more diplomacy to solve certain problems. Someone who has a slightly more human view in the broad sense of the word to apply at that moment. So today I will talk about the penultimate complementary text of the letters of Christ, in which he mentions the position of all of you in relation to children. Right now, problems that are happening on your internet. What Christ says is all that has been done in relation to your little ones. The little ones in the past had no concern, played excessively in the streets. They ran, socialized, often learned bad things. But it was and always was up to the parents to have the education, to make them see what was right and what was wrong. Children were formerly raised by their parents, effectively, and I can say that until a certain time ago, with excessive rigor. And that did not bring many teachings either, because they were small servants based on fear, not respect. They had no voice. They simply had to comply with what their parents determined. On the other hand, they were healthy little ones because they played all the time, ran, had many friends around them, physical. And they were always in various houses all the time because they made friends with everyone. And so they did. That period of their lives when they should be just that, small. As time passed, their lives changed. The submission of women caused many to rebel against that patriarchal regime, in which they also had no voice. They had to be totally submissive because they had no other choice. They depended on the one who supported the house to eat and to live. So they had as their life goal to be just wives and mothers, nothing more. Suffering from it, all kinds of aggressions, humiliations from some companions. Of course, I will not say that everyone was like that. Many grandmothers who are here lived this period and were extremely happy. They had respectful, loving husbands and raised their children with a lot of love and a lot of peace. However, many, those who effectively could not bear such subjugation, began to rebel, finding ways to survive, and simply giving up that financial stability that was offered to them by their husbands. I'm not here trying to find the culprits. The very evolution of time made women wake up from so much time of submission and inferiority, so that many women could work. The little ones started to stay in suitable places, or with relatives, with neighbors, so that those women could bring their livelihood home. Because the vast majority, separated men, no longer wanted to know about women or children. They stopped being fathers, not just husbands. If you are not with me, I will not help you at all. They stopped having children. But this is another story. Very well, the time was passing. Women were graduating, gaining professions, becoming women entrepreneurs, directors, managers, bosses, or simply workers, earning a living. And more, the little ones were left in the hands of others. Please, women, don't understand this, that I'm blaming you. No, you gave the cry for freedom, and there would be no other way. Very well. But I need to tell this story to get to the point that I want. More and more the little ones started to be left in the hands of others. And then those who already had distorted feelings towards them started to act more intensely, which was to program your little ones to feel extremely attached to their media. So many programs were created, aimed essentially at the little ones, but whose purpose was in reality to make those children little robots. They no longer wanted to be on the street with their friends. They no longer wanted to run back and forth. They preferred to be in front of that device, simply fascinated by what they were seeing. And many of you mothers who are here now listening to me have gone through this. You saw your children truly worship those myths that appeared on television. And they were films, they were music, they were dances, everything, complete package. So those who created it all saw a big gun in their hands there, to take away the innocence of the little ones as soon as possible so that they could serve them however they wanted. So these same programs, said to be so wonderful for the little ones, started to have extremely harmful content for them. Influence your little ones to become young women very early, with makeup, with behaviors that would be adult women. And the worst thing about it, mothers, is that you encouraged it. And I say more, many encourage it today. They encourage their little ones until today to put makeup on, to show themselves as women, because you came from this generation and you don't think anything of it. But your little ones are being evolved early to a highly sexual content. That was what this whole movement created. In the past, I am not saying here that the girls were holy. No, they weren't. But they did not have the same freedom that many have today. You can see little ones having children under 10 years old. Where does this come from? This comes from an early sexual evolution which was applied in their minds from an early age. It's cute to see your little girls wiggling in front of the television, imitating the artists who are there. While they are small, they do not have much sense of what they do, but as they grow up, they get a certain sense that it is a sex appeal. You find it extremely cute, and encourage your little ones to date, and encourage that. My little one has been dating since he was a little boy. He is a male just like me. Very well. You really raised your little one at his age. Did not encourage anything ahead of time, because everything has a moment. For this, there is puberty. Adolescence is the moment of transformation. It is the moment of infantile transition to adolescence through puberty. But you encourage it first, because that to you is a merit. Because you are also of the generation that this was encouraged in you. So my brothers, do not understand that all this was done for the evolution of your little ones. There is a large network behind it all. Nothing was done innocently. So, I understand that in today's world it is complicated for you, parents, not to allow certain things for your little ones, because the schools themselves are encouraging. Look how absurd we are. Your little ones have the devices in their hands since they were babies, because you put them to play, so that you can have a little peace, without caring about the radiation that little one is receiving, regardless of what is impairing his vision. Later, you will cry, because the defamation started very early. The malevolent actions of these devices started very early in their little ones. Or do you think these devices are 100% wonderful? They are not. They emit radiation, and your little ones are absorbing it all. It's my brothers, changing some rules that have already been created in your world will be complicated. But make sure none of this was done with a pure heart, because there were always ulterior motives behind it. There are your little ones, highly, I would not say mature, because they are not mature. They have a distorted view of what sexuality is. Sexuality for them has become commonplace, like eating a sandwich around the corner, because the appeal is so great that on wheels, the one who does not have sex is discarded, pointed out, ridiculed, because everyone counts how many relationships they have had. by night, by day, without realizing what they are doing against themselves, because they were taught that appeal is what is good, is to be fashionable, is to be smart, is to be the one who will always be in evidence through sex. Where is love? No, this does not exist between them. There is no involvement, there is only pleasure. So I want you to stop and think, what is this generation that is there today? That they don't connect with anyone. They don't find that partner to really relate. The vast majority are alone, either living constant and totally unknown relationships, or literally alone. Because those who do not agree with this type of experience are unable to approach anyone. They do not feel capable of loving. They don't feel able to attract someone who thinks like them. They are needles in the haystack because they think differently. So they are alone, isolated. Many of you clap your hands because your children go out on the weekend and come back almost at the beginning of the other. Because you know that he is having a great time, having several sexual relations, quiet, without any problem. Your daughter in the same way. For you it looks great. They are living the youth. Really, I would say to you that this is also very well thought out, because youth today would be those pillars of light in the ascension. And I will repeat, they would be, because they were totally captured by these energies. And it will be very difficult for them to resume the journey they came here to do. They will need to have a strong wave of light over them so that they wake up, because they are totally imbued with the sense of non-love. Love is something that is not lived. There is no love. Because if there is love, they will have to give up having so many relationships. And then it will be boring. So you can see the whole movement that was created over 40 years ago. Can you see where you are? Because in these 4 decades, there are parents who have been through this and passed the same thing to their children. It is sad. It is very sad to see how much you got involved by all this, thinking that everything was cute, that everything was new, everything was innocent. But there was nothing innocent. Everything was well designed to take your little ones out of their innocence, to make them follow a path totally of non-love, out of their energy that is going away. Because every inconsequential relationship that your children have, that these young people have, that your little ones have, they become more and more contaminated. And they are losing more and more that energy of special beings that are on this planet. So my brothers, there is the damage. The damage is done. Many may ask me, is there a solution? Not at this moment. Why, what good will it do? You forbid your little ones not to pick up the devices at home. If they go to schools and schools put them in their hands, then it is up to you to make a move with the schools. No, we don't want that for our children. It is not the time yet for them to have contact with this there. Great pedagogues will always have an argument, but this sharpens the little one's intelligence. We need to develop it. Yes, there is development, where development is coming. Extremely sexualized little ones, drawing the attention of those who are already perverted by nature. Because your little ones have become so sexually advanced that they act like women, without knowing many times what they may be causing. Is very sad. Very sad, all this. But unfortunately it was a great plan and it worked. So there, the young people who would be the pillars of light, totally degraded. Not just for sex, but for drugs, which everything comes together. It's a big package. Smoking, alcohol, sex, drugs. It's a big package. Everything comes together. Everything mixed. One does not exist without the other. Yeah, but it all ends. I just tell you to think about it, about everything I said here today. And soon you will have the truth about all of this. It was not just an understanding that I had that made me say it all. You will know the truth. It is very close. and you will understand every word of what I said here. There is still time. There is still time for you to stop making your little ones adults. They are small, and as small, they have to stay until puberty. Then they can start to have attitudes towards change. But until then, let your little ones be small. Do not grow them ahead of time. Do not make them extremely sexual ahead of time. They will have the moment. They will have their walk. This you can do. Stop finding these behaviors, provoking sex in your little ones early, so that they do not become distorted. As you say, will do some good. Because if that soul is a different soul from the kind that came into the body, it will come out, whether you want it or not. Respect your little ones. Respect what they are and what they will be. Love them unconditionally. They are your children, regardless of what they will be. There is a being that depends on you, parents, father and mother. So be father and mother, those little ones. And love them unconditionally. Now to love is not to allow everything. To love is to give freedom under surveillance, is to give freedom, but with a lot of conversation, with a lot of guidance, so that your little ones learn, since small age, what is correct, but not ahead of time, all at the right time. I am the Archangel Michael. I'm here, more and more trying to make you think, and still trying to get many to evolve.